Okay, this is my tutorial on how to make scales. So I have these samples. They're pretty alright. They're really short.
They I bars
Like you
and
kind of get the
down.
point. What I'm gonna do is I want to export. I'm not gonna edit this because like I don't really feel the need to, and it'll be kind of short. So once you have your samples, what I like to do render as an OGG. Just render is better, I guess.
File's done.
Okay, now that we have that, you can either use Newtone or Melodyne. I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna use wherever it is. Yeah, I passed by it a couple of times. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, so this is what I do for samples, center, variation. I try to center the samples onto the same note. This is an important part that you'll be doing. If you're following this, I guess. If you don't, I don't really care.
I bars.
Okay. Now we want to stretch it, and what a lot of people do wrong is they'll do like this. Not what you're meant to do. How I stretch from where the sample, like the midpoint of the sample.
I
So I don't stretch it too much, because if you stretch it too much, it doesn't sound good and it sounds really bad. This right here, this sucks. So make this small. And then also what I like to do is this little starting here is I try to get rid of it. I just like stretch it really small. Okay, stretch. And then don't feel afraid to like scrap any samples because this one has quite a lot of samples. The lowest I've ever used is probably like 3 samples. This is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 samples. Like I may not even use all of them. Let me stretch all these other ones. Actually, I'll just pause. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that when you're stretching your stuff and you do something you don't like, so let's say you just do this on accident, like you you actually make this. If you hold control while holding the slice tool, you can combine stuff to to like refix it. That's all I want to show you, so I'm gonna pause this again. Another thing to note is that when stretching, you want to, like I said, get rid of the starting part, the mid part, where you can kind of see with the volume, it stays the same. Okay, but these are done. I did delete one right here, one right here. So yeah, sometimes I delete them in my own scales. Um, they sound alright. You'll obviously use effects to make it sound better, like EQ and whatnot. So I don't mind that they sound a little stretched, but you can obviously use effects to get rid of stretching or like the gross stretching sound when you stretch something. Like those sample spoons, these ones sound pretty good. Okay, now we save them. You can save them as wave. OGG just works better. And then get these original ones. Hop in our new ones. And what I like to do kind of depends on how long your samples are. Mine are they're like okay short. Sometimes you'll have some quieter ones. So if you have the new FL, you can make them a little louder. Putting this button. And then there's also like options in Slice X if you happen to like, I guess the starting is there's like a tack on it. I guess if that makes sense. There's the start tab. You can turn up both sides. So I will get this all ready. Paste it in a couple of times. I don't remember the number. It kind of depends. I'm just gonna do willy-nilly. Don't care. I think the number is 25 if you're doing C3 to C7, which is what normally you should do. Shouldn't use C2 unless if it's really needed. Shouldn't go any higher than C7. Or else it'll sound bad and you won't even use them. Spend very little time where I've used anything higher than C7 in songs or covers. Then we render this. We're almost done.
File's done.
Okay, now we just drop them back into New Tone again. You can press Control A to highlight every single note, and then you click on a note to put it at a certain note, so you can scale it up and whatnot. This character has a very low voice, low pitched voice, so they're going to be better for lower notes, which is something that I want for this character I'm making. Yeah, sometimes you'll have this problem where they intersect. You just have to cut it. This part always takes a little bit, but oh. Scale doesn't sound too bad. And it also depends on like your source. Like if the audio is really low quality, it won't be good to sample into a scale or whatnot. You can hold Alt on the slice tool to like freely move around, because usually when you don't hold Alt, it's like kind of the snapping thing. And then I'll show you how to make your scale kind of sound good in Slice X, because sometimes there's like unbalanced notes, or yeah, unbalanced notes, or sometimes you have the starting thing, which I showed earlier. Kind of makes your scales sound a bit better. Okay, our scale's done. Okay, let me save this. I'd save it in Wave, just so that lossless audio format. See if I can find it. I think it's this one. We'll see. I know the skill that I have, yeah. You just add the markers. If you right click, you can highlight the certain note. And if you left click drag, you can drag to select. Doesn't happen to me too often, but it's just kind of how I put the notes. So like for this, I'll show you how you can normalize your scales, because some people don't do that. Okay, now that we have our scale, we want to click on the wrench. Hold on, let me make sure if you can't see it, then I have to whatever, I guess. I can't see it, okay. Okay, so here we have Slice X. I think if I'll set that right there. Oh yeah, okay, we click this button called normalize all regions in the region. It normalizes all of them so that they're all loud. And then also if you want to, you can do normalize as well. It makes it so if we I'll just open up a song. Have anything saved for that? I'll just go. I would do this. I would do this to get rid of some of the clicking. This will obviously be a lot different for whatever you use. Just kind of some basic effects that I can use. Yeah. And then this start, I have it up, but if I turn it off, kind of depends. If you want to use start, like you can turn it all the way up. If you want the sample to be played way later, sometimes I do it halfway. Sometimes I do it like just a little bit. It depends. Just play around with it. Something you can also do, if your scale is just like too long, like really long for no reason, you can use this volume envelope. Kind of just shortens it. You can also play around with that too. That's the main stuff that I do. I don't mess with any of these other tools. So yeah, that is how you make scales and how you use them. Bye.